Why I think Microsoft should continue to support Windows 7. Let's talk about it. Hey there, this is Tom with Tom's Tech Show, and I know we've passed the Windows support date for Windows 7, and kind of nothing has happened to my Windows 7 other than I had to click the little message that said, I know it's not being supported anymore, don't show me this again. But I want to kind of cover something. I mean, most people get their new operating system when they get a new computer, right? So I have a computer, I'm computing away, I'm doing whatever I need to do. Oh no, my hard drive dies. I guess I'll just go get a new desktop or new laptop or whatever because the whole thing died. And then when you get the new system, that has the new operating system. Well, with Windows 10, that kind of wasn't really needed. I mean, a lot of people who had systems, especially some of the later Windows 7 systems, let's look at this here. So Windows 7 came out in 2009, and you couldn't buy Windows 8 until 2012 and 2013. And most people weren't. If they could skip buying Windows 8 because Windows 8 was so prohibitive with that full screen start menu, and people just didn't like that, and that big huge change, they stayed away from it. So you could, even buying a Windows 7 computer up to 2013, even past that, I think it was after 2015, you could still find some Windows 7 systems out there. Companies were still offering that because it was so popular. So if you bought a Windows 7 computer in, say, 2014, it could have had a solid state drive. You could have had 16 gigs of memory. You're flying. You're like exploding fast. There really is no reason to change anything. I mean, if you have all your documents and all your applications and everything set right the way you want them, you're kind of a down to business kind of person. You're not playing a lot of games or anything, and you're good to go for as long as that computer works. Which, if you bought it in 2014, that could be another 4 or 5 years. So forcing these people to upgrade is just really doing them a disservice. So if we look at the chart here right now, Windows 10 has 65% of the market, and Windows 7 still has 26% of the market. So you still have people there that are definitely, slow to move. We've already had the whole free year, even though you can still do it for free to get the upgrade and everything else. It's slowly going down. If we I can change our chart data and go back a couple of years and view it here. It is slowly on a decline. And if we take this decline and we extend it past today, a couple of years, I'm thinking around 2023, it's going to be down to 5%. And I'm thinking at 5% is an okay time to be able to say, okay, if you're one of the 5% that are still there, then I think it's time that we can tell you we're not going to support you anymore. But at 26%, that's a lot of computers out there that are still running Windows 7 that still are going to need security patches as time moves forward. I mean, you already shown here and said, hey, we're going to keep supporting Security Essentials on Windows 7 until 2023. You just came out with a new browser, the redesigned Microsoft Edge, based on Chromium, and you released that for Windows 7. So everybody at Microsoft needs to start talking to each other and say, if we're going to do this, we might as well support the base operating system as well. Just makes sense. You already have the patches. I mean, most of the core pieces from Windows 7 moving forward, a lot of it is the same. So, and you already have these patches that you're making for the latest version of Windows 8.1 and Windows 10. So it shouldn't be that, and you already had the process to put them in and create them for Windows 7. You've just stopped doing that process. So it's not like you have to design a new process to put these patches and create these patches. You don't. You already have Windows Update mechanism. All of that is still there. Everything. So you just have to decide, okay, let's continue with these patches until the market share gets down to 5%. That should really, at this point, that should really be the trigger for stopping support, is when the market share gets down there. You can continue to maintain that you want people to move to the latest version of Windows, Windows 10. But until this line gets down to 5%, that should really be the new trigger. I mean, people who have Windows 7, like I said, who bought their computers in, say, 2013, 2014, they've got years. And people, it's very easy to, the biggest thing that fails in computers is anything that's spinning, right? You have fans that are spinning and you have hard drives that are spinning. Well, now SSD drives are so cheap. Any computer that has a hard drive that's got a little bit of a problem, I just go throw an SSD in it, and it becomes a completely new machine. Even when, the server that I had here in my office before I upgraded it to do YouTube stuff, it was 12 years old. I bought it way back. I think I bought it in like 2007, 2008, something like that. It was an AMD. I had a Asus motherboard that I added, 8 gigs of memory into it, and it just ran, and it ran, and it ran. I replaced the fan on it twice, the CPU fan on it. I replaced that twice. I replaced the power supply once because the fans went out, but it still was working. It still was, amazing, and still could do anything that I needed to do up until I started doing some heavy YouTube stuff with multiple cameras and all that stuff. And I said, okay, this thing is just, it's dying. It's struggling. So I finally upgraded it. So until there was a need to upgrade, there really was no reason. I mean, I could throw that motherboard back in a computer and load Linux on it and have it just be a screaming machine, really. So Microsoft isn't going to have all these people go out and suddenly flip over, buy a new system or anything, because so many of these computers just last for so long. The quality got to be at a point where they didn't die as often, and the speed and memory that was in them made it so they ran really smoothly, especially when we're getting into 2011, 2012. Processors are getting really fast. Motherboards are getting so you can easily put 8 and 16 gigs of memory in them. So then there's no need to upgrade. And if you don't want all the junk, so that's the things that Microsoft needs to do. Number one, they need to extend support for Windows 7 till 2023. That way, I think the use of Windows 7 will be down to the 5%. Number two, they need to provide the consumer a clean version of Windows 10. No games pre-installed, no extra icons on the start menu, nothing. You can put the store on there, but just leave it as the store and don't install anything. Give them options to, okay, go to the store if I want Xbox to be installed. Go to the store, install Xbox. Go to the store and install all the 3D AR, VR junk. If I want Candy Crush junk, I'll go to the store and get it. But I'm not going to. But I don't want it there on the front of the computer. I don't want, all this garbage coming up. Because that, to me, that just means, okay, now they're, if you buy a signature PC, I went and bought a signature PC sitting around here somewhere from Microsoft. So I bought it when it had Windows 7. And the reason for a signature PC to exist is it's basic Windows. No extra stuff from Dell or HP or anything. None of their extra little garbageware that they put on it. You go there, you buy a signature PC, it's completely clean. Now with Windows 10, you got to buy a signature PC, garbage. So it makes purchasing a signature PC pointless. So you need to learn something, Microsoft. You need to give customers the option of what they want. Put the store there. If you need an app, you can go to the store. That's fine. My father-in-law, his computer recently died. The hard drive died. The fans all went out on it. And I said, you need to be able to do stuff. You need it to be simple. We're not buying you a Windows computer. It needs to be secure. We're not buying you a Windows computer. So he today uses a Chromebook. Completely simple, works, can do all of his stuff. He does his spreadsheets, he plays games, all those things. If it gets junked up, you hit the power wash button, completely back to the way it was when he bought it. Left him a little instruction thing, it's easy. So if you want people to stay on Windows, let's give them a reason to stay on Windows. But I do think you need to save, go a little bit further with this support for Windows 7. You still got 26% of your market that are running Windows that you're now ignoring. All right. Well, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I really wish that Microsoft would do this. I really wish that Microsoft would produce a clean version of Windows 10 that would go miles for people, especially a lot of the people that I just want to be able to use it and not have all this junk. Right? I get people commenting on my videos. Where can I get the LTSC version? Where can I get, where's the enterprise? Where's the clean version? Where's, how do we get rid of all this stuff? Where's the script to remove all these apps and everything that I can just run the script and kill it all? Right? That stuff wouldn't be out there if Microsoft produced a clean version of Windows 10. And that would take the people on Windows 7. I think you would bring some of the people over. You'd start people wanting to adopt Windows 10 a little bit faster. All right. Well, thanks for watching this one. Comment about whether you think Microsoft should extend support for Windows 7. Should they do it? Should they not? Should they abandon 25% of their users right now? Or should they continue supporting them? All right. Well, thanks for watching this one. Take care.